77 कितने आएंगे टोटल? हाउ मेनी स्टूडेंट्स? 100 अराउंड। ठीक है, तो मैं वेट करता हूँ जरा, और 2 मिनट वेट कर लेता हूँ, या शुरू करूँ? कर दूँ? ओके। यस स्टूडेंट्स, गुड आफ्टरनून. I hope I am audible to all of you.
Sir, you are audible.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good.
Afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon to all of you. I'm just admitting
Good afternoon,
some of
sir.
them. Good afternoon. So at this point of time, 84 students have joined. So I think I should not wait for some more time, and let's start our examination session. So let's introduce about myself. My name is Nishit Mishra, and still students are joining. Please mute yourself, huh? It is creating some disturbance. Okay. My name is Nishit Mishra, and I joined Bharati Vidyapeeth in year 2017. And before that, I was here as a visiting faculty. And prior to my eminence in academics, I served in industry for more than 2 decades, and product categories such as software, computer, medical devices, surgical equipment, etc. And still students are joining. And my research area includes marketing research, research in retail marketing, and my research which I completed in PhD, that was a comparative study between private label brands and national brands in organized retail. So it is my brief introduction related to my teaching profile and my industry profile too. So today I am going to discuss with you about examination, what is examination all about as a BBA program, and what is their different kind of activities, what is going to be the evaluation process, how you are going to work in this, and the duration of your semester. As you know that it is going to be a 3-year program. So in 3-year programs, you are going to have 6 uh, different university examinations, and that is always at the end of semester, right? So you are going to have 6 university examination, and one university examination. Between one university examination, you are going to have 2 internal examination, which is known as internal 1 and internal 2. This is some basic introduction related to what we are going to discuss today, right? Also, you need to understand what is a continuous evaluation system, because we are working in a CDCS kind of environment, right? So we need to understand that these are the credits, and these credits are to be covered in a specific point of time, right? And that is under one semester only. Then we need to understand if you fail in one of the subjects or in some of the subjects, so what is going to be policy in that case, so that you are being promoted to the next level, and what is going to be the end of that promotion, whether every time it is possible or it is to be limited to one semester only or 1 year only. So these are the things which we shall be discussing in our today's discussion. So let me just share with you my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks. So in the examination, the first thing first which comes is that is related to the objective of your course. So every one of yours means whosoever sitting in the class who has joined as a BA program. So under this BBA program, you are going to have one objective. In that objective, what you are going to have? That you are going to have some professional knowledge, right? Within that professional knowledge, what you are going to expect? That you are going to have knowledge of management, as this program is known as Bachelor of Business Administration, right? So you are going to have some knowledge about, that practical aspect of the working in the field, that practical aspect of business. At the very same time, you are going to learn some theoretical aspect also. See, taking example like that, you are working in the accounting, management accounting. So management accounting is one of the things which is related to the accounts. Then how you are going to work. So as a manager, you need to manage various activities related to the accounts also. You need to see what is the balance, what kind of activities are required, what kind of fund is required. So as a manager, you are concerned about other areas also. So the other area may be like if you are working as a core person in the marketing. So in marketing, you have fund requirement. So having this degree, you are going to have knowledge about marketing, you are going to have knowledge about international business, you are going to have knowledge about finance. So these are the things which you are going to learn in this. So this is going to be the objective. And finally, you are being prepared in such a way so that you are going to take certain responsibilities of the industry or the organization or of the entrepreneurs or from the corporations where you are going to work. This duration for the entire course is going to be of 3 years, as you are aware, part one, part two, part three. So there are going to be 2 semesters in each of the part. So it is going to be a 6 semester program. And for this, the examination process will be taking place time and again. And this examination is going to be in the mode of English only. So the medium of instruction as well as examination is going to be English. What should be the eligibility criteria? As you all are aware and you know that 10 plus 2 is the minimum requirement for the entry in the bachelor program. So you have been given admission based on that only. Apart from that, there has to be one, examination, that is the entrance examination. So you have done that. So that is the minimum eligibility requirement, that it should be 10 plus 2. And apart from that, there has to be this kind of entrance examination clearance certificate so that you are admissible to the particular program which is known as BBA. And what kind of electives are going to be there? So these electives will be based on your interest, the kind of future requirement of yours. Maybe you are in the business already, your parental business, so you may be thinking about something related to finance, or maybe human resource, or maybe you are having some factory, so you may think about that operations management, or you are having your own marketing setup, so you may be selecting that elective in the form of marketing. So that is the matter which we need to discuss in the fifth semester only. So that is too far. You need to cover first 2 years so that you understand and learn everything which is common for bachelor program which is known as BBA. Now talking about the examination pattern, how the examination is going to take place. So that, as I have said in the beginning itself, that there is going to be university examination, there is going to be university internal examination, and then there is going to be continuous assessment in the form of CES and the departmental papers. So I shall discuss one by one in detail. So I hope you won't be having any confusion related to it. As you are aware about the examination, that after every end or after every year, you have been sitting in the examination, be it half yearly, be it yearly examination, be it other kind of test papers. So these are the things which are there in the form of examination only. When we say university examination in our setup, That means that after every semester there is going to be one examination, and that will be treated as UE, right? And the other examination is going to be the internal examination or internal assessment, wherein certain activities are going to take place as a internal assessment examination. There are going to be certain internal examination. Certain things are to be there in the form of CES, continuous evaluation system and assessment. And on the basis of that, means one component, that is IA, the other component is that is UE, and this forms the total component or the total of your academic progress. Means without IA there is no need to go for UE, because unless you complete internal assessment you are not eligible to sit in the university examination. Similarly, if you have cleared internal assessment and you are not sitting in the university examination, it means you are not going to get degree. So these two things are very, very important, and they are complementing each other. Without this, one is, the other is incomplete. Now coming to the continuous assessment, there are going to be certain departmental papers. So in that, the internal assessment will be done in the form of internal examination, and other than that, there are going to be certain projects, right, and activities which you are going to perform, and based on that project and activities, you will be given certain marks, and these marks finally will be converted into grades. That I'll discuss later on in today's session only. So now coming to the core examination activities, there are going to be the different continuous evaluation system examination. So it may be in the form of case study, maybe a class test, maybe a model quiz, uh, it may be a case study. This may be the role play that I can say, or the faculty can say that you need to work on a particular role. So these are the various activities which are there in the form of CES examination. Then there is going to be internal examination. There are going to be two exams, internal one and internal two. And finally, there is going to be end term examination after each semester. So that will be treated as university examination, one exam per semester. And there are certain departmental papers, where is the Viva Wise project and on-screen evaluation. These are the activities which are related to the core examination activities. What is going to be the continuous evaluation system? As we have discussed in the previous slide, this may be the class test, maybe presentation, Viva Wise, role play, Moodle quiz, creation of documents. So these are the various activities. On the basis of these activities, the course instructor is going to assess your knowledge about that subject. And this is the Moodle things. These are the 40 questions. See this cursor where I am just putting the cursor. And these are the questions. Out of these four options, there is one option which is correct one. So you need to understand how the Moodle is going to work for you. And now from here your journey starts as a choice-based credit system, wherein you are going to work on all your, the grading, what should be the minimum marks, and how you can get pass. So you understand one thing, that to get pass in either internal assessment or university examination, you need to score minimum grade point, that is 5, and that in percentage terms is going to be 40%. For example, if you are securing 40 marks, it means by default you are going to get grade point 5. Or in other words, you can say if you have grade point 5, it means you are going to have 40% marks minimum. Then in that case only you can have grade 5. Uh, if a condition say like if you fail in the internal assessment, so what is going to be with regard to your external examination? For example, you are scoring less marks, and that is around 25% in internal assessment, right? And the overall GPA grade point assessment is going to be around 6 or more than 6. So it means in aggregate you are going to score around 50%, and the GPA for the course will be calculated only if the learner passes at UE. Means if you are passed in the university examination, and overall grades become 6 and 50% in aggregate. Even if you have failed in one subject of internal examination, securing 25% marks, you will be declared pass in that condition. And the third point related to this CPCS system is that if you fail in university examination, the condition is that you need to fill your form for the university examination and you need to appear for the examination. At the very same time, if you have failed in the internal assessment, for that there is another form, that is the internal form known as pink form, and that you need to fill it, and finally you will be allowed to sit in the examination. So now till this point, I think we are together, and what we have discussed is that there is going to be internal assessment and university examination. In internal assessment, there is going to be internal examination. In the university examination, there is going to be external examination, and for that the papers and other things will be supported by our university only. And if you fail in internal examination, you need to appear for internal examination separately, and for external examination, you need to appear separately. Now coming to the grading system. So the maximum points which are covered for a grade is 10. 10 means if you are securing 100%, for that you are going to get a grade that is known as 10. 10 point system means it is the maximum one. Okay. How it is divided? So in your case, that is a BBA, the 60% weightage comes to or comes from, that is in the form of university examination, and 40% is coming as an internal assessment. So the total marks for your score will be a combination of IA and UE. IA means internal assessment, U means university examination score. So this is going to be total of 100. Means maximum marks from the university examination are going to be 60, and the maximum marks from the internal examination are going to be 40. And out of 40 and out of 60 is going to be the combination of yours, which is going to be your earning with regard to that examination. So division of marks, IA 40, UE 60, and this is going to be a combination. So how it is divided, we shall be discussing in the next coming slide. Maximum marks is 100, internal is 40, and that 40 is going to cover attendance plus CES plus 2 internals. So the breakup is given in the next slide. See this one. First internal is of 40 marks, second internal is of 40 marks. So this 40 marks examination will be scaled down to 10. Scale down means, I'm just taking example for it. Assume that you have scored uh, 32 marks out of 40 in first internal. It means your scale down level is going to be 8 for that subject. Similarly, in second internal examination, if you are securing 30 marks, it means after scaling it down, it becomes 7.5. So the total of both the examination, first internal examination and second internal examination, is going to be 8 plus 7.5, that becomes 15.5. And this 15.5 is out of 20. If you see this cursor, 10 and 10, if you join these two marks, 10 plus 10, the maximum marks becomes 20. However, the examination was conducted for 80 marks, right? So we give you questions of 40 marks, and once your marks are there in the form of the outcome of that examination, that will be scaled down just by dividing 4, because the component is 1/4, right? So from here you are securing those marks, and these marks are known as your internal examination score. Now coming to the next part, that is attendance. So in attendance, if you are attending classes in terms of its number, and that number is going to touch 75% or more. So 75% or more is going to secure 10 marks for you. It means from the previous scenario, if you come here, as I given you the example, just assume that you have scored 32. 32 means 8. You scored 30, it means 7.5. So 8 and 7.5, the total becomes 15.5. That is out of 20. So 20 marks you have scored from the previous slide. 10 marks, if your attendance is 75% or more, it means you are going to get 10 marks here. So 15.5 plus 10 becomes 25.5. So far, having these three steps, you have scored 25.5. This is a case of assumption only. This may be more or this may be less based on your overall performance. Now coming to the CS component, how the CS is divided. So there are going to be the various CS depending on the subject. There may be a class test, there may be MCQ, there may be presentation, there may be the case study. So in your case, there are going to be 3 CS only 3 CES. So out of these 3 CS, your best two will be calculated. I'm giving you example. Say I'm writing, you have scored 5 here out of 10. 5 out of 10. Here you scored 4 out of 10. Here you scored 3 out of 10. The maximum score of CES is going to be 10, and the total of this is under 10. So class test, it was given you for 10 marks and you scored 5, right? The Moodle quiz was given to you for 10 marks, you scored 4. And the presentation was given to you, you scored 3 out of 10. It means your two best score are going to be 4 and 5, not 3 and 4. Best score is going to be 4 and 5, right? So the total is going to be 5 and 4. It means you have scored total 9 marks, right? And these will be divided because this is a kind of weightage because you are getting out of 10. So best two will be calculated. So your marks are going to be 2.5 and 2. If you divide it by 2, and finally this is going to be your score. So now coming to the previous slide. From the previous slide, you have scored, as I have taken example of 32. 32 means 8. If you talk about the second, that was assumed 30. So 30 means 7.5. The total becomes 15.5. Now coming to the next slide, from here, assume that your attendance is 75% or more. It means so far 15.5 plus 10, it becomes 25.5. Now two scores will be calculated from this. It means class test 5. 5 means it will be calculated as 2.5 and 4 means 4 means 2 only. So from here this total becomes 4.5. 2.5 and 2 becomes 4.5. If you add, it becomes 15.5 plus 10, 25.5, then 4.5 means total becomes 30. So out of 40 you have scored 30 marks, that is 75%. So now I'm here opening this class for the questions. If you have any doubt related till this point, if we are not together, you can raise your voice so that I can discuss this thing again. Any student, if you are having any doubt related to this, else I'll move forward. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, is there some medical leave for something if something happens?
There is no medical leave as such. If there is any medical case, which is the case of say hospitalization or something like that, in that case there is a director HOD meeting which is called as DHM, and in that DHM, that program coordinator and head of department, they sit together and they take decision. In that case, there may be a kind of relaxation based on the condition of the student, but that is not more than 5%. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now coming to the format of internal examination, how the format is to be presented. So for the internal examination, there are going to be two sections, section 1 and 2. The total duration of the examination is going to be for 2 hours. In section 1, there are going to be 5 questions. First 4 questions are going to be of some kind of explanation, discuss, recall kind of questions, which are related to subject, and the others may be in the form of say short notes. So that is going to be the question number 5. And in section 2 you are going to have questions that is of analytical ability, comprehension. So these are going to be 3 questions. Out of these 3 you need to attempt 2. So from section 1 there are 5 questions, so you need to attempt 3, and each question carry 6 marks. So 6 into 3 becomes 18, and from section 2 there are going to be 2 questions of 11 marks, so this becomes 22. 11 into 2, so 22 plus 18, this becomes the 40 maximum marks. So this is going to be the format for your internal examination. This is the format for your university examination, where there are going to be two kind of sections, that is section 1 and 2. In section 1 there are going to be 5 questions, and out of these 5 questions you need to attempt 3 questions, and each question is going to carry 10 marks. So 10 multiplied by 3 becomes 30. From section 2 there are going to be 2 marks which are to be attempted by you. So 15 into 2, this becomes 30. So 30 plus 30 becomes 60. This is going to be the maximum marks for this university examination, right? And again the format for section 2 is going to be application based, wherein certain case based case related things and certain other things are to be discussed. Then there is going to be comprehensive continuous assessments. In this, there are going to be class test, presentation, field assignment. There may be some mini project also. So these are the activities which are to be done in comprehensive continuous assessment, which is also known as the departmental paper, right? Now coming to the range of marks. This you can understand that there is a grade O in the second column, and finally in the third column there is a grade point. So if you are going to secure grade A or grade O or grade C, accordingly there is going to be some grade points. So if you secure a grade point 10, it means your marks are between 80 to 100. The maximum side is going to be 100 and the minimum side is going to be 80. Sorry. So how to read it? This is written marks are less than or equal to 100 and marks are greater than or equal to 100. It means whatever you are scoring, for example, you are scoring 82. So 82 is either greater than 80 or it is equivalent to 80. Equivalent to 80 only in that case when there is a 80 written. Then we can say marks are equal to or greater than 80. If 80 is written, then this equal sign will come, else it will be 81, 82, 83, 84, whatever. And the other side, marks are less than or equal to 100. Less than means it may be either 99, 98, 97. This may be the situation, or it is going to be 100. So if somebody is securing grade O, it means marks are starting from 80 and it is going up to 100, right? Coming to the second, that is range of marks between 70 to 80, right? So 80 is not included in this, right? This is less than 80. Here is no sign of equivalent, less than or equal to. So only there is less than sign. It means marks are less than 80, that may be 79, and marks are greater than or equal to 70. It means something which starts from 70 and goes till 79 is going to secure the grade which is known as A plus. Similarly, coming to the third one, that is marks are less than 70, right? It means marks are not 70, it is less than 70. And marks which are greater than 60 are equivalent to 60. So student if he secures 60 and the student who secures 69, there is going to be grade which is known as A, and for that the grade point are going to be 8. I hope this is clear with all of you. Coming to the last one, that is marks is less than 40, right? If you are securing marks less than 40, coming to the previous slide, just come for few seconds. As I told you, see this one. The student must obtain a minimum grade point of 5, that is 40% marks. If you are securing this, it means you are going to get grade that is 5 and you will be declared pass. So that is the meaning of 40%. So if you are getting less than 40 marks, less than 40, it means you are going to get a grade that is known as D, and D means fail. And for that, grade point is going to be 0. If you are securing less than 40, this may be 39, 38, 37, 36, whatever number, this number is going to get grade D for you, and grade point is going to be 0. Now coming to the GPA, how it is to be calculated, right? So GPA is calculated by adding the UE marks of 60 and IA marks of 40. IA means internal assessment, UE means university examination. So in both the cases, what is going to be done? Something which you have earned, that is to be calculated from 60 in case of university examination, and the other part is to be calculated from 40. Just assume for a minute that you have scored, I'm just writing here, you scored 34 out of 60. This is one equation, and that is for UE. And the other thing is 29 out of 40. That is IA. So the total is going to be from these two. So the total is like this, that 34 and 29. It means it becomes 63, sorry, 63 out of 100. And this becomes your IA plus UE. This is the example, 34 out of 60. This is the case from 60. 29 out of 40. This is the case from 40. 60 plus 40 becomes 100. So from 100 you have scored 63. Now come back to previous slide. Your score is 63. Assume. So 63 falls in this third range of marks, third entry. Marks are equal to 60 or greater than 60, and marks are less than 70, right? So something which is there between 60 and 69, right? So that is going to be your grade A. So if we come to again to this slide, it means your grade is going to be, your grade is A. अगर मैं इसमें बात करूं ग्रेड पॉइंट क्या आएगा आपका? ग्रेड पॉइंट आएगा आपका 8. ग्रेड पॉइंट 8. Are we together till this point? Can anyone just say yes or no?
Right, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
यहाँ तक कोई इशू तो नहीं है?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay.
No, no.
No, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir,
So now
please
coming-
do share this in the group.
जरूर कर देंगे, डोंट वरी. पहले आप समझ लो, बस समझना ज्यादा जरूरी है, क्योंकि शेयरिंग वाली चीज बाद में रखी रह जाती है. अभी भी आपको कोई डाउट आएगा तो आई एम हियर ओनली. मैं इसको हाईलाइट कर रहा हूँ, इसको एक बार देख लो कि मैं क्या कहना
सर.
चाहता हूँ. ठीक है, ब्लैक वाला ये हाईलाइट जो मैंने किया है, 34 out of 60 means your GPA is calculated by adding the UE marks of out of 60 and IA marks out of 40. IA means internal, जो कि हम यहाँ पे करेंगे. UE means जो यूनिवर्सिटी से पेपर बन के आएगा उसका. सपोज करो, एज्यूम करो फॉर ए मिनट कि आपके 34 मार्क्स आए 60 में से और आपके 29 मार्क्स आए 40 में से, राइट? तो 29 और 34 का जो कॉम्बिनेशन है, दैट इज बिकमिंग 63, और दैट इज आउट ऑफ 100. So this will be treated as IA plus UE, and your grade is A, and grade point will be known as 8. ठीक है. अब बात आती है what is SGPA and what is CGPA and what is GPA. GPA we have worked upon, right? So now coming to SGPA. SGPA means semester grade points and CGPA means cumulative grade points. So you are going to calculate something on the basis of semester. I'm just sharing one mark sheet with you and you need to calculate with me. It will take only 2 to 3 minutes time and you'll reach to a conclusion how to calculate SGPA. Okay. So I'm just going to share this with you on your class group. I have sent you one link. Sorry, this is a direct file, not a link. Yes. I hope you have received it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now just calculate how we are going to calculate the grade points. Come to semester 1. The formula is on your screen. See this formula. Just open. I have sent you a mark sheet that is of Achint Khandelwal. And this formula is there on your table. Just pick your pen and take paper and we shall calculate together. Right? See, the credit value of this semester 1 is, calculate with me, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. 6 times 4 then 2. So it becomes the sum total of this credit value, that is 26 if I have calculated correctly. 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 26. Yes, this is 26.
Yes, sir.
So write 26 in denominator. लिखिए SGPA equal to numerator oblique numerator divided by denominator, right? अभी न्यूमरेटर में कोई वैल्यू नहीं लिखनी है आपने, डिनोमिनेटर में लिख दो 26. नाउ कमिंग टू सब्जेक्ट 1, that is business organization and system. Credit value is 4, grade point is 8. So the first value is going to be 4 multiplied by 8 plus, करते जाओ मेरे साथ में, 4 multiplied by 8 plus next 4 multiplied by 7 plus next 4 multiplied by 10 plus 4 multiplied by 8 plus 4 multiplied by 8 again plus 4 multiplied by 9 plus, and the final one is going to be 2 multiplied by 10. Whatever total comes, that total is to be divided by 26 and tell me your answer. Can anyone student unmute and that can answer?
Sir, the answer is
8.4.
8.76.
That is wrong.
8.4.
Okay, sir.
8.4 to 1 decimal digit, it is correct. This is actually 8.47, that is written in the mark sheet also. I repeat
Yes, sir.
once again,
8.47. 8.47.
right? So now you are able to understand how the grade point are to be calculated, how the SGPA is to be calculated. Now coming to the CGPA. The formula for CGPA is that SGPA multiplied by the credit. So in first case, this is 8.47. You need to multiply it by 26 because the sum total of the credit value is 26. Multiply it. Do along with me. 26 multiplied by 8.47 plus the next is 8.39 multiplied by 4 fours 26 only. Again this is 26 Now coming to semester 3 means third value, that is 9.08 into 26. Again coming to the fourth value, that is 7.85 into 26. Now coming to the fifth value, (8.39 into 26) plus, and the final value, that is 7.16 into 26. It is to be divided by 26 into 6, क्योंकि 6 बार 26 लगातार आया, तो 26 into 6 जो है वो डिनोमिनेटर में आ जाएगा और बाकी ऊपर की वैल्यू है. मुझे बताओ क्या आपका है टोटल. What is your result? Can anyone tell? Result please.
Sir, is it 8.2?
आपको समझ आ गया कि 8.22 का कैसे आया कैलकुलेशन?
Yes, sir.
आपके फिंगर टिप्स पे होनी चाहिए अपनी मार्कशीट, so that कि कभी भी आपके मार्क्स कम ज्यादा हो जाए, so that you can calculate, and if there is any typing mistake or something like that, you can immediately contact university and our examination cell, which is headed by me. Getting my point? If you have any difficulty, write your application and forward it to the examination department. आप लोग अपने माइक को म्यूट करो प्लीज. देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ डिस्टरबेंस. Now coming to the next slide, that is ATKT rules. So the ATKT book which I discussed in the beginning itself, that if you are having certain backlogs of your semester 1, now mark sheet is there in your hand. So assume that there are 4 subjects which are of semester 1 and you failed at that. So what is going to be for your semester 3? Means in next year, that is known as second year, you will be transferred, right? You will be promoted without asking any question. But these are all backlog related to semester 1 are to be cleared in this year only. If you don't clear these backlogs in your second year, you won't be reaching to your semester number 5, that is known as final year. So allowed to keep terms means semester 1 and semester 2, n number of backlogs are all backlogs. Just assume, just by seeing this mark sheet only which I shared with you, assume that there are 13 subjects, 14 subjects, right? And if you have failed in all 14, you'll be promoted to the next level. But at the very same time, you need to clear all these backlogs in your second year along with the other subjects which are again good in numbers, right? Semester 3 and semester 4, it means 14 plus 14. You need to clear all these 28, or minimum you need to clear those 14, because the second year you can carry in the third year, but the first year cannot be carried to third year. So be careful about your backlogs. If you are having any difficulty related to subject, if you are not able to understand, ask your subject faculty, course instructor, they will guide you, but don't encourage the backlogs, right? That is known as ATKT rule. And finally, there is one important topic, that is National Academic Depository. So your all certificates in the form of say mark sheet or your degree are to be stored in a centralized place, that is digitally controlled by one of the portal. So that is known as National Academic Depository. So anyone who wish to have access on this, just by getting permission from you, can verify your data, whether you have passed this examination or not, whether you have earned that degree or not. So these are the things which are important, and this is required by various employers, banks, visa consulates, and various other organizations who are interested in this. Okay, with this student, I think I'm just going to wind up this session. So if you have any questions, you are most welcome. I'm there. Platform is open for you. If there is any question. Hello, is there any question from students? I'm there in the class. If you have any query, please ask.
No, sir.
Thank you. Take care, huh?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Bye-bye.
sir. Thank you.
Nice talking to you, sir.
वेलकम वेलकम. हाँ,
Thank you.
आपको समझ आया जो मैंने बताया?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everything is clear.
फिर भी अगर कोई आपकी डिफिकल्टी हो तो आप किसी से भी पूछोगे कॉलेज में तो you'll get my detail. एंड जब भी कभी आपको रिक्वायरमेंट हो किसी चीज़ की रिलेटेड टू एग्जामिनेशन, you can have chat with me. Thank you. Take care बच्चे. Bye bye.
Bye bye, sir.
Sir, thank you.
मैं इनको भी दे देता हूँ. They'll be sharing with you. ठीक है? Okay. Take care बच्चे. Bye bye.
Bye, sir.